Hey everyone, and welcome back to Idea Kitchen, where we share simple recipes for how to use AI. We filter the hype, delete the tech jargon, and just share simple, practical ways that you can actually put AI to use in your daily life. Today, I'm going to go ahead and share one of the recipes from last month where you can create instant SOPs from meeting recordings. This will be a demo of how exactly to go about doing this. First, we're going to go to the Substack where we can find the website, and I'll include the link below. Here, you can see the full recipe. We'll start right here. And here you can see exactly what we're building. Basically, what this does is it takes a meeting train and then it converts it into a document, in this case, an SOP, but it can literally be anything that you choose. It could be like an SOW, it could be onboarding template, whatever you need, it can do. You can see before we used to have to go on a call, gather all the information, and then we would go ahead and convert that information to the proper format. So you'd have to go through the transcript and filter through all of these different information pieces, and then you'd copy and paste into a document, format the headers, number the steps, all of those things that are extremely tedious. This is a great way to use AI. If there's anything that you feel bored with, tedious with, have to do repetitively over and over again, these are great things to use automation for. In this case, the after is we drop the transcript into a Gemini gem, and then it will spit out a fully formatted SOP, including full step-by-step instructions and a list of missing action items. So instead of starting from a blank page, you're actually starting with a list of items that are missing from original meeting recording. Prep time is just 10 minutes. It's an easy recipe, and it's very quick to get started. The ingredients are just a Google Gemini. It's very easy to set up. You can use either the free or paid account, either one. Obviously, the free account has limits, and then a meeting transcript and a template of whatever document you're trying to build. In this case, I've actually provided an example for both of these. Even if you don't have either of one of these, but you still want to try the recipe, go ahead and check out the links, and you can get started using it right now. Very first step, go to Gemini. I already have that open here. Now on the left-hand side, we have Explore Gems. You might be wondering why gems rather than the gems are great if you're doing something over and over and you don't want to type the same prompt in, type the same instructions over and over and over again. A gem should have one specific job. Like Explore Gem. Now, I've explored these previously and they're not great on a day-to-day level. They're not extremely practical or useful. Skip reviewing those for now. Okay. Ahead and give it a name. SOP. Next, I'm going to add in the instructions, which I provided within the recipe. Copy and paste. And here's an important part. We're going to just paste it into the instructions view. I'm going to click this pencil icon right here. This basically takes the paragraph that we provided it, which is in plain English, and it's going to turn it into the language that Gemini Gems can read and understand better. So it's basically like improving the prompt. That load. And then you can see it went from this paragraph into, now it has a purpose and goals, it has behaviors and rules, it has step-by-step instructions on exactly what we're expecting from it. It just makes it a lot easier so that you don't have to write all this yourself. Next, we're going to add the example template. You can go right here and upload files, or you can add from your drive. If you make changes to this template and you'd love for it to be updated automatically, I highly recommend using the add from drive option. This will just automatically pull the most recent copy available instead of you having to upload files whenever you do changes. That if you do not have a template, you can go ahead and use ours here. This just pulls up the Notion page. There's a PDF right here. And you can see this is just a standard operating procedure template. It is 7 pages long. It's got all the details. Feel free to steal it if you would find that helpful. Jumping back in, I'm just going to upload files for today. Uploaded it. Okay, now we're going to grab the sample transcript, test out our new bot. Have one on hand. I'm going to paste it on this side where it says preview. Now it's loading. You can tell that it's still in progress right here, but you can see as this thing shrinks that it's already working its magic. A couple of seconds to load. As you can see, it's already started to create, acknowledging the request. It started to create the missing items checklist that I told you about. So instead of starting from a blank page, you'd actually use this checklist to run through to know exactly what needs to be done to the document. It's now completed loading. So we can see the missing items checklist. we can see the standard operating procedure, and it's already filled in for the information that it has from my transcript. Scroll along, that it works. Now, one key thing is down here, this is what's different between using Gemini Gems or doing a custom GPT within ChatGPT, is this button right here, you can instantly convert it into a Google Doc instead of having to copy and paste as you saw, that chat is extremely long. So instead of having to copy and paste all of that in, I can just click this button right here and it will automatically pull the response and put it into a Google Doc for me. This it from 7-page template to be a 20-page doc after it included all the information from my. And then my next step would basically be just running through the missing item list and adding those key points, making sure that the template actually includes all the information and that there was nothing else that was needed to be added or changed or anything like that. And this is basically it. This is done. It worked. So if we jump back into here, we did the whole test and preview and it's been created. We can now start a chat. And now anytime that we need to create that SOP, anytime we have a new transcript, we can just hop back in here to the Gemini Gem and just paste the transcript in. Jumping back into the recipe for a second, everything, we showed the export to docs. Down here, we have serving suggestions. This is so that it gives you ideas on how you can use it. So in case the SOP example wasn't right for your use case, you can use it as an offboarding tool. You can use it for a client-ready SOW, a cover letter generator. So instead of creating a cover letter every single time that you apply for a job, you can put in your resume and an example cover letter that you've done before and a template. And then you can just add the job description in and it will go ahead and create a cover letter for you based on all the details that you've provided it. Home life SOPs. So if you have routines that you want to share with babysitters or family members or whoever, this is a great example of how you can use it. And then other repeatable templates. Couple of tips. So these are the Chef Pro tips. If you notice right here, it started off my document acknowledging my request. If you don't want this to be included, I've added exactly what you need to add to the prompt. Went back in here, I just go ahead and change this A part, this, and update it and then test again and do all that. But that will just take away that little preamble if you don't want it to be included and you don't have to want to delete it every single time. One chef's pro tip right there. If you don't have a transcript on hand, but you really need to create this kind of document, just talk to yourself. Use a Loom or a televideo like I'm doing right now, and then copy and paste that transcript out instead of having a full meeting. We talked about this, pull in live files instead of just PDF. And if you're struggling with the formatting it provides, provide it one strong example. So you'd provide the template, which is empty, and then you'd provide a secondary document that is a completed template that you've used previously. This will give Gemini Gems a reference point as to what is a good example and what it should model. Get the copy and paste and do the export to docs. And if you want to automate this whole thing, you could use something like Zapier agents to automatically send meeting notes over to Gemini, which will then automatically convert it. So take a look at my other recipe where we went through how to use Zapier agents and the limitations to keep in mind. So there's obviously free plan limits, no true long-term memory, and you're still the editor-in-chief. You're obviously the human. We believe in human in the loop here. What that basically means is that you are at the beginning and at the end of the process. You are at the beginning saying, this is the information, this is the context that's actually applicable here. And then you are at the end to do the final check off and say, this is valuable, this is useful, I'm going to approve it to move forward. And that is it. So that is the full demo of how to use Gemini Gems to create your own SOP creator. Please let me know in the comments whether you have used this before, whether you tried it out. If you ran into any issues or have any questions, please let me know. And other than that, thank you so much for checking this out today. Please subscribe to Idea Kitchen, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.